Hey, good afternoon. And I wanted to welcome to week 5. Just thought I'd go ahead and maybe give you guys a little bit of an insight here into the week 5 and the cases and those types of things that we're looking at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here. 1 second. So as I take a look at kind of, where do we go here? There we go. So now we should be able to see here what you've got, what we've got going here. Um, so let's make sure we got the meeting controls. Okay. Let's make sure we're going. Okay. Apologize for this, guys. Having a little bit of technical difficulties on making this here, but it should be good. There we go. Okay. So we're into week 5 here. And what we've got here is we have this case number 2 for the course, is the big portion for this week. So what we've got here is down in this section, you'll see as we go here, the individual portion. Now there is another video here that I'm probably going to take out and replace with this one. But I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the individual portion here. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to go ahead and basically give you guys till tomorrow night at midnight to let me know if you have any particular any particular people you would like to be paired up with. So we're going to do this in this class as pairs, okay? So what you'll be doing is getting a hold of a pair, either one that you choose, and you can let me know that by tomorrow night, or if you've got 2 people you want to work together with, that's fine with me too, because I think there's an odd number in this class, so there might be one group of 3. And what you're going to do is then decide on one of these cases that's down here, okay? Aline Nubine, Hilton, and that's Hilton. That's a city. Jeremiah Bicatolio, Jim Black, No Fair. Okay, and what you're going to do is let me know which one of those that you're going to do. For the first half of the case, just like in the original case study we did earlier in weeks 2 and 3, where you're going to need now is you're going to do that entire front half. You're going to do your analysis, and you're going to go ahead and put some articles together. So as you see here, this is where the case study is totally the individual format. So in your first week, what I'm looking at is the baseline, which is kind of where the company is, summary, and then a problem statement. So these 2 are kind of where you're going with it, okay? Also, you're going to need some article summaries with this. Typically, it would be 3 or 4 articles is what I'm looking for. And what you're going to want to do is go ahead and give those as potentially backup for your solution. Then you're going to need to do your SMART goals, okay? And which means you're going to have to do on what your potential solution is, okay? And then you're going to pull this all together with your references and the rest of that and submit it. Now for part 2 of this, which is next week, you're going to take this and you're going to go one step further. So we'll go to next week, which is week 6 here. And in week 6, you're going to be doing the team portion. So you're going to get together, and in this format here, between the 2 to 3 of you, you're going to come up with each individual one's papers that you've done with any feedback that I would have given you, and then kind of agree on one problem statement, kind of morph those into one problem statement and the definition, and then kind of give us a 2 or 3 of what the problem is, then kind of decide on a course of action between you as a group. And it's going to be a blending of those those items that you guys came in together individually with. Okay. You're also going to need to discuss the options that you may have before choosing that course of action. Okay. So you want to make sure that you kind of discuss the different goals that you individually came up with, what your thought process was, how you narrowed it down to give this example. Okay. So if you're looking at these things here, and then at the bottom of this one here gives you a little bit better of an action plan or an action item, okay, what would be good? Yeah, these are all not really good action plans. Create an employee survey. That's not really, it's not a SMART goal. Okay, create an employee survey measuring satisfaction and employee engagement that is conducted 2 times a year and compare progress. That's a SMART goal, okay? Creating business units designed by the main customer in geographic areas, keep HR and accounting. That's an example of a good one, okay? This lax fund, train employees is not a good one, okay? And then you transition that into something. You've got to have something that is going to think about that action plan and bring it together. So basically, the first week, which is this week, is individual. You're kind of putting that together, that summary, putting together, of course, kind of what you think would be the answer. Then the next week, you're going to, in 2 to 3, come together and merge those 2 documents with the history, and then outline, and then give us a section where you've kind of almost debated which the course of action you should take with those. Okay, I came up with this, Ted came up with this, and we chose to go with Ted's because his actions were A, B, and C better than mine. That's the type of thing in that summary section that we're looking for. And then you're really outlining that those courses of action. So how are you going to get there? So you've identified the problem, you've solved it, you've done your research. You will need to include your research in next week as well. But you can do that in more of a standard APA type format. You don't have to actually give me the article summaries, which you would have to do this week. This week, article summaries, next week, references, okay? And then the rest of it is to bring that whole thing together as if you were a team solving this problem. Okay, so again, a couple of, just to wrap this up, a couple of big points, just like here. This week, you're kind of solving the problem yourself, including your article summaries. Okay, next week, no article summaries. And instead of the article summaries, you're going to include that section on how you got to your course of action. And I'm really looking for you to hone in on these courses of action. So let's really kind of get some real good concrete examples on how to solve this case. If you have any questions at all on this, or I'm not clear enough, just let me know. Look forward to hearing and reading your cases.